Boom. Back. Look at this day again. Unbelievable, this weather. 4 seasons in a week. What was I doing then? Just a bit Henry's just gone. Oh, I'll tell you what I was doing. Oh, where's that now? Do you know what? I don't know what I've done with it. I'm looking for a big yellow spray bottle. So when I talk to people. You know what? What am I doing with that? I just sprayed that one. There it is. Walked past it 10 times. In here I've got some of that seaweed spray, wherever. That stuff. I'm giving everything a foliage feed. I have to just pump this up. These beetroots, I give them a sprayer before. There's a lad down in there. Can't stand up now, see? So, just give them a spray with this stuff. No, that's not working so good, is it? Either. Yeah, just spray them. Bit of a foliage feed. When I get that sun on them now. Oh, this is not looking so well. That's better. Yeah, so it's all at a good foliage feed. I've just made 2 little braces for them onions. Cable ties and some canes. I did them in there as well because they're looking a bit scabby on that side, but it's only colour, excuse me, with plenty of colour. I've done these in here. What you want to do with this stuff is get it underneath the leaves where the sun don't shine, because that's where they want the nutrients pointing at. You can hold the leaf up and spray them underneath. They get all the benefit. You can get it right underneath them. Because they take nutrients and light in from both sides of the leaf. So where they don't get a lot of light underneath, spray some seaweed, and that's the nutrients they need under the leaf. And they should stand up better then. Looking okay, these tomatoes, aren't they? Taking off. Got some seaweed coming today, some seaweed mix food, 5 litres, so that should do us for this week, this season. So we'll get feeding these next week. Should all have the first set of flowers on next week. Could give these a feed now, actually. Yeah, I could give them a bit of feed now. In fact, I will. I'll give them some feed out of that. Tip top Terry. Watering up. Twice a day, Terry. Right. This giant sweet corn here. I don't know whether it's a 35-foot tall one or the one with massive big cobs, but I've got two different ones. But whichever, it's growing massive. So I'm going to pot it up in this big pot, just to let it grow a bit more till that sweet corn comes up. I'll put it in the sweet corn bed then. I'll just give all these a spray with that seaweed. Because these, somebody was asking yesterday why the leaf curled up. Well, yesterday it was mad hot in here, and that's what's happened. But it's no bigger. You just turn your temperature down. Well, it's cooling down now, they're all standing down, can you see? So it's not really a problem. Just get your temperature a bit better. The tomatoes don't like it really hot. They like an airflow around them. That's why that's got a gap all the way around the bottom, and it's got vents in. Because at summer it gets warm in there, but the window opens at the back and it gets plenty of ventilation. But anyway, that's not doing my sweet corn, is it? So that there I'm going to put in that pot. See how it looks. There you go. What difference a pot makes, eh? Looks bigger again. I'll give that a good drink. In fact, we'll give it some seaweed food. And just go and stick it in greenhouse, I think. With all our other big veg. Now, these tomatoes are getting big in here now. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make a frame out of bamboo. But I'll put them on an angle like that. So when the tomatoes are on, they're hanging down that way. You know what I mean? So they're not hanging against the plant. So I'll go and get some more cable ties from the shed. Put another piece across here and then just cable tie all them in, and that'll be. And then do the same on this side. So we've got our supports then for our tomatoes. Some of these are getting big now, so we need tying in. Otherwise, you just get floppy and there'll be weeds underneath them, and before we know it, there'll be a quagmire in here. I'm going to keep this weed free here, it's front and centre. This greenhouse shows all our wares, well, what we want people to see. They're standing up now, then beetroot. So we'll crack on with this frame. There you go. It's no Picasso, but it's something for them tomatoes to aim for. So they should all take off up them sticks now. Give them an helping hand. Right. We'll find something else to do. In there. Oh, my head. That's kettle on again. Just been sorting a bit of committee business out, you know what I mean? Committee man. Never mind. Right, I'm just taking suckers out of these tomatoes now, these big ones. And the bottom leaves, so I'll just take the bottom leaves off. And all the suckers up to there, so that can take off up there now. They've got them coming in there, can you see? A little bit small yet, but what we do with them, we take them out, and then all the strength goes into growing upwards. Just them little ones there in between, can you see it? Leave the leaf on, push that off, just rub it off. Well, they're a bit small them yet anyway, but there's a couple of big ones. There's one. There's two. There's three actually. Just pinch them out, because they will take the energy off your plant. They'll grow outwards like another plant. That's how they grow bushy. So this is how you grow them like a cordon. Take all these little suckers out. See that one there? Rub that one out. There you go. No more suckers on there. all the energy is going to push that upwards rather than pushing it outwards. Growth. So that's what we've got to do nearly every day once they start growing, because they grow like wildfire. There's another couple. There's the first leaves. See the first leaves, that's where they've been buried up to. The first true leaves are there. Get these out. Don't have millions of heads on them, because you miss them a couple of days and then you come in the day after and wallop, you've got two tomato heads, two heads on your tomato plant. And then if you clip the wrong one out, they start growing sideways. So if you start it from the beginning, keep them clipped out as they're growing up, and then off all these will grow trusses of tomatoes once you let them grow, when they start growing up. And that's what we need to do. So there you go. I'll leave the greenhouse for Henry to do. Give him something to do tomorrow. Pick out little side shoots out. Yeah, looking belting these in here. Yeah, after that seaweed spray this morning, sprayed it right underneath all leaves, and looking nice and green, aren't they? In fact, I didn't do them too. I've got to do them now. I'll do them too. Yeah, so there you go. You can see it better on this one. So you get your spray and spray right underneath the leaf. So you're getting it underneath done, all wet through. And what that'll do, it'll give it nutrients from the underside of the leaf, which is what it doesn't get, really. So once in a while you want to do that under your leaves. Spray where the sun don't shine. And they should be stood up after, once all this sun's dried that out on them. Love tomato plants, me. Play with them all day. Right, brew time. Just a quick one before I have that brew. In case some of you didn't know, I know there's some newbies, and everybody's a newbie. Even though I'm a newbie every day. But this one is a tumbling tom, which we keep as a bush. So these side shoots here, we don't take out of this one because we want it to bush out and hang over here. These we don't because they're too big. Now we've got some plum tomatoes which are in the greenhouse for the same reason. We don't thin them out. We leave all the side shoots in, and then it grows like a bush plant. We've got a bit more room in greenhouse than in here, so we can't grow bush plants in here unless they're in a basket. So that's that. So now we'll get that brew. Right, that's that brew anyway. I've just brought these little tomatoes in here because it's a bit warm from in there in daytime, and it's a bit cooler in here. So they're all standing up, can you see? Because it's been too warm from in there, not humid enough. So we'll give them a drink in here now, and we'll leave them in here. Same as I still don't know which they are. They're just tomato plants, so they could be anything. I don't know, I'll just take them up top once they start growing, but I'll put some water on them anyway. From the bottom, of course. I never water from the top if I can help it. Just give them a good drink today. That'll do. Do these tomatoes while we're here. I think Henry's done them, but there's a bit stuffy today. Start feeding these next week. Nice and easy watering in here. the tomato for that. I've got a money maker, another money maker at home. Bring the rest of them plants up next week, the sweet corn and well, everything we've got at home. I'll bring celery, sweet corn, some beans, something. Oh. So keep forgetting about that pot there. Keep a head full of dirty water out the tray. Fur at that too. There we go. Straighten that up, what I've just knocked all over. There you go. Sorry, plant. That's that all watered. Henry's got to get horse pipe out this week. Give it all a good dice because we've not had no rain again to speak of. He's done that. Just rake that in. I'll put some seaweed on that, that's what I'll do. Another brew. Last one that I think. 10:05. I've used that bag of calcified seaweed. Put some hot honey in bed, some on them spuds. Done that bed. And them onion beds. That onion beds are it. So when Henry don't you listen me. When Henry waters with horse pipe, mate, we'll just wash all that in. What I've been doing with this is mixing eggshells, because all calcified seaweed is seaweed and oyster shells mixed up, but it's in lumps. So what I've been doing is blitzing it down in there with eggshells, because that's calcium as well. And that's what I've got at about 50 eggshells and a quarter of a bag of that seaweed off can. But that I'll just put around my plants. And then every time they water, that'll wash in because it's nice farm powder now, that. But I've got loads of eggshells left and another bag of that will fill that. So we'll have enough food there. Plus with our seaweed food. Should crack that big veg this year. We've got 4 entries up to now. We've got big bean, big onion, big pumpkin, big tomato. So we should have a shout in there with 1 trophy, shouldn't we? Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Peaceful up here today. Here's twittering birds. Ah well, get something else done. Mr. Ben starts again. Yeah, so them sweet corn there was sown on the same day as that big one, I think. No, 2 weeks before. There was with the other sweet corn when I put in there, what didn't work. So they're 2 week, that's 2 week older than these. But all they've got is water, nothing else, obviously. Put some more sweet corn in there, so hopefully they'll be coming through. I think these are, oh yes, the yard-long beans have come through. New yard-long beans. And then loofahs at the back. Put some more loofahs. I'll leave that on. I'll put some of them, more of them giant sweet corn in there. But I don't know if they'll come out. There's only one came out of the last lot, 8 of 12. So, oh, that's that celery, and I put some more cucumber in there. More cucumber that I found. Peppers are there. That's our peppers and that love lies bleeding plant. plant is and then these, you see these have been too hot in here because there's no window in here, and I didn't have the door open all day yesterday, so I'll take them down in the cool for a bit. See, just share them a bit and they should come good. Keep that direct sun and good they'll come, because they shouldn't get too hot. There's nothing wrong with them, just too warm. But we want that with these, we want them to grow up, and these peppers as well, because they're only small. So we want these to grow up, to pull them up. Got loads of strawberries on here. There's a ton of these strawberries in here. I've never grown them in a greenhouse before, but they'll be stopping in here. There's Henry's climbing hydrangeas still hanging on. Yeah. So them's our peppers we've got ready. Come on, Zulu. Camellia. Getting good with these plants now. Foxgloves. They're coming up now. This is the climbing hydrangea, that bit off for Henry. That one. It's a white flower on. It's all over there. This tree yesterday was full of ladybirds. And hopefully they've gone on to that, because we get a lot of aphids on this one. I can't see anybody give it a spray that yesterday. Azalea's come out, that pink one. The red one's just started. Just see them there. It's just dark red. And that's under the pink one. That's a later pink one, that, so that comes out a bit after, and that's finished. Now we'll start putting all its new leaves on then. Yeah, not a lot else growing up here. Lupins, 10 a penny, aren't they? Yeah. So that's it, but that's that sweet corn, that giant one. It's about 6 times the size of them. So hopefully be a monster. Right, I'm going getting that kettle on. Shirley's just gone to bed. She's been on nights, so I'll have to be quiet.